Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John, and thank you so much for watching. And if you like this kind of content, then please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leave a comment, or even a recommendation. This is part 2 of a video review of a song that I started yesterday when I covered Love of the Common People, and I focused on the Paul Young version from the 1980s. But there's a lot more to this track, and so I wanted to give a reasonable history of the song and cover some of the more famous versions with snippets of videos. And I'm going to focus on one particular one. And it's really to kind of demonstrate, I think, that good songs can be utilized in many genres by many different types of singers and across the ages. This song was written by John Hurley and Ronnie Wilkins, who were American singer-songwriters. They did a version of it themselves, but I'm not going to cover that. But it was first released in, I think, 1967, I think it was, by the Four Preps.
Living on free food tickets, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can you do? Ooh. Tears from your little sister, crying 'cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the party to go. Oh, but you know she'll get by because she's living in the love of the common people. Smiles from the heart of a family man. Daddy's gonna buy her a dream to cling to. Mama's gonna love her just as much as she can.
One of the things that amazes me about this song is that the kind of structure and the lyrics across many decades just didn't change. And that's such a credit to the original songwriters. This version, the lead singer, he sounds kind of almost Elvis-like, and there's that sort of almost kind of big band sound, and you can hear the kind of strings and the other instruments in the background. Now, in the same year, the Everly Brothers did a version. And I'll play a snippet of that again.
Living on free food tickets, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can you do? Tears from your little sister, crying 'cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the party to go. Oh, but you know she'll get by because she's living in the love of the common people. Smiles from the heart of a family man. Daddy's gonna buy her a dream to cling to. Mama's gonna love her just as much as she can.
This version kind of started off, it reminded me a little bit of like the kind of Mamas and Papas California sound almost. And the Everly Brothers were superb singers, there's no question of that. But then the kind of the brass comes in as well, backing that and gives it a slightly different kind of vibe. Again, this was 1967. These are really, really old versions. Now, all the links, obviously, to all the songs are in the description. And depending on what style you like, you can choose a version of this great song that you want to listen to. Now, again in 67, somebody called Wayne Newton released a version. These are all before my time, but I just wanted to really cover the history and context of part 1 of this video, where I covered the 80s version by Paul Young, which is the version I know and remember.
Living on free food tickets, water in the milk from a hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can we do? Ooh. Tears from little sister, crying 'cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the party to go. Oh, but you know she'll get by because she's living in the love of the common people. Smile from the heart of the family man. Daddy's gonna buy her a dream to cling to. Mama's gonna love her just as much as she can. She can.
They're all good versions in their own way. And I kind of like them all, really, despite the different feel. This one kind of, I don't know, kind of reminds me of that kind of Midwestern, South USA type kind of feel. I don't know, almost like the origins of kind of rockabilly, really. Or country sort of folk type sound. But again, just a great version by Wayne Newton. So somehow in 1967, there was an explosion of this song with so many people wanting to release it. And quite a few of them were hits. There's no question about that. Now, there's another version from 1969. And after this version, then I'm going to focus on a version that I think is particularly good. And then I'm going to move to a couple of really surprising versions. So this was the Winstons from 1969.
Living on free food tickets, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can you do? Ooh. Tears from your little sister, crying 'cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the party to go. Oh, but you know, she'll get by because she's living in the love of the common people. Smiles from the heart of a family man. Daddy's gonna buy her a dream to cling to, and Mama's gonna love her just as much as she can. And she can.
Again, a different version. And I think the reason I want to cover so many of these versions, I think, is to recognize the quality of the song. This is not just about one artist, or in some reactions they'll play one version. I like to give some context and some history, even though it's before my time, and celebrate the song as much as the artists who performed it. Again, these are not a band, I know, and a very kind of Americana sound really to this one. But again, that brass, I think, is one of the common themes in this. Now, the version I want to focus on really is this version. And this one surprised me. This was released in, I think, 1970, but this is him live in 1973. Now, it's called Nicky Thomas. And, well, just listen for yourself and see what you think.
Living on the street food ticket, walked in the middle from a hole in the roof when the rain came through. What can you do? Please send me little sister, ground because she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the party to go. Oh, but you know, she'll get by, oh, she's living in the love of a common people. Smiles from the heart of the family man. Daddy's gonna buy you a dream to cling to. Mama's gonna love her just as much as she can. And she can. It's a good thing you know the bus fare. You go forward through the hole in your pocket and you lose it in the snow on the ground. You got to walk into town to find a job. trying to keep you in warm. When the hole in your shoe blood does not come true, and it chills it to the bone. Boy, you better go home, here it's warm. You can leave it in the love of the common people. Slice from the heart of the family man. Daddy's gonna buy you a dream to cling. Mama's gonna love you just as much as she can, and she can. On dreaming easy, close to the needs of the time that I turn the shoes say away.
There's a couple of figures that you saw on there, and it was interesting that when this was released, it was really quite a big hit in the UK. And the UK, I think, was one of the countries that embraced reggae music, and it was so prominent, the sound, and obviously so many artists coming out from that sort of Jamaica, Caribbean type area, you know, with ska and then reggae. And this was a really interesting twist on the song for me, because being used to that sort of electronic Paul Young version, hearing so many different variants of this song, I guess was a kind of revelation. And I hope it helps to demonstrate that, as I keep saying, you know, good music can be used in so many genres by so many different singers and still really kind of resonate with the audience that it's targeted at. Okay. Now, last two couple of snippets. These are, I guess, what I would say at the bizarre end of music. This is Leonard Nimoy, who was famously Mr. Spock in the original Star Trek.
Living on free food tickets, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can you do? Ooh. Tears for the little sister, crying 'cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the body to go. Oh, but she'll know, she'll get by, because she's living in the love of the common people. Smiles in the heart of the family man. Her daddy's gonna buy her a dream to cling to, and her mama's gonna love her just as much as she can.
I never knew Leonard Nimoy could sing, but actually quite a nice kind of voice, even though slightly at the spoken end of singing, really. But again, just a really nice version, and the song is so good. The final real twist on this, I think, came for me with this version.
Living on 3 feet tickets, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can we do? Oh, tears from your little sister, crying 'cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch for the party to go. Oh, but you know she'll get by, 'cause she's living in the love of the common people. Smile from the heart of the family man. Daddy's gonna buy her a drink to cling to. Mama's gonna love her just as much as she can.
So the boy from Pinner, who became a global superstar, Elton John, gave a kind of reggae rendition of this song, Love of the Common People. I've never heard him do a reggae type song before, so this I thought was really kind of interesting. But I guess it shows where he heard it from, and probably from that kind of Nicky Thomas reggae version, rather than some of the very earlier versions that had a different sound aesthetic to them. So this is the song Love of the Common People, covered by so many artists. My focus in the first video of these two was on the Paul Young version, because that's the one I recognised and grew up with. But I wanted to really make sure that the song and the writers of the song, John Hurley and Ronnie Wilkins, who also wrote Son of a Preacher Man, was recognised. And it's just about good music. And sometimes that's what we need. As I said, all the links are in the description. So check them out. Find a version that you like, if you like any of them, that is. But hopefully there's one that you do, or maybe even you like all of them for different reasons. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, or a comment, or a recommendation. Love of the common people. So many artists. So many versions. A great track. Thank you so much for watching.